lack of egg hitters, which, I mean, if anybody watched that previous series, we saw a lot of Phoenix and a lot of refreshers, especially in game number 1, where to the point where it felt like Thunder Awaken were just forced to let the egg go off, run away, and try to re-engage, which they actually did a really good job of, but it's still not straightforward Dota at all.
And we're gonna watch this rune fight first. It's a trade-off. It's a 3-for-1 for Gaimin Gladiators, so off to a good start. Yeah, I think it's just going to be tricky for Gaimin Gladiators. Like, if you get a good arena egg, I don't think you can really get out of there with these heroes without BKBs. So I think more than anything, you're really trying to avoid getting into these straight-on fights where the enemy team gets to truly set up, and you want something more scrappy. And more than anything, you want to play on early dominance, right? Which has really been the name of the game for this team. If they do manage to pull off one of their incredible early laning stages, first 10-15 minutes, it might not even matter what lineup the enemy team has almost, right? If you just get that big of an advantage, you start controlling the enemy jungle, you can just beat them with items. Or with kindness if you want to.
That doesn't usually work out too well, which I think you can attest to with your pro Dota career. You're too nice, Cinderin.
Yeah.
Except to me for some reason. It's kind of a weird dynamic we have. But again,
it's all the pent-up anger I've had from all those years. Now I finally get to release it.
Damn Kebab throwing it. Oh. We're not going to bring that one up. That was
that is basically the Voldemort of Dota for me. That's the name that should not be named.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah,
so how is this for a Timbersaw game? Because we've seen a lot of games where, you know, they end up taking over the lane once they get level 3. Eventually, everybody has to get out and just leave him to his own devices. Is there anything like that?
Oh, hang on, MoonMeander. Okay, he's fine. I just saw the health drop rapidly, but he's okay. I think Celery has the luxury here with this lane matchup for Timber. I think level 3 you can do whatever you want, essentially, which is, you know, the usual way they run this is that they pick it together with an ace hero that is at least largely independent after a little early game. Help. So I think Celery will probably be focusing on helping Boom kill Bryle mid and maybe put some pressure on that tower around the 5-minute catapult timing. That is definitely one option. The other one is if he finds a good creep down here and ace skills aggressively, like maybe we'll look at some 1-1-1 build or 0-2-1 or something to that effect. Maybe they can try to also pressure the Nature's Prophet. They are playing without stuns, though, in that lane, right? So Nature's Prophet is one of the... Well, he's actually the only hero in Dota this early that doesn't mind TPing to base. So
true.
It's not that big of a deal if you get bullied that far out.
Kunkka X, Cinderin.
That is true, but then you need the levels for it first, right?
True.
Like, safe lane Kunkka will generally not have that minute or level 3. So,
well, speaking of mid, it is Bryle on the Kunkka versus Boom's Tiny. You talked about how you thought Enchantress would end up trying to gank in the mid lane. As we can see, MoonMeander taking heavy damage again. We've seen this a time or two already in this game, but he has yet to die, yet to have first blood in general. But what are your thoughts on just Kunkka v Tiny as a general matchup?
I think it's overall a pretty even lane. I think Tiny will have a deny advantage because of the tree, but Kunkka will also, every cleave with Tidebringer, he will be able to get guaranteed ranged CS at the very least. And maybe over time forcing a little bit more region to be bought by the Tiny as well with that constant harass versus Tiny's more... He's a bit more limited because he uses a lot of his harassment tool to get CS, right? Is the tree that he has to use those hits for the last hit. Oh, Ratio again. This top lane, I mean, TSM FTX are definitely getting pressured. They're constantly floating low health. They're out of region. Whereas Tofu is still sitting on both his salve and 3 tangos, so they have way more to give up here.
Yeah, well, the Ratio, in terms of just last hits alone, 18-0, and you can see Saber Lights Mars not too far behind, 15-1.
Celery! Oh, Fairy Fire.
Fairy Fire will keep him alive, so yet to be first blood still. And remember, these teams, neither of them have been on LAN other than TSM under the Undying banner at TI, right?
Did they not play in Dubai?
Oh, that's true, actually. I did forget about that.
I think they did play in Dubai. Oh, Celery, he's going to Fairy again here.
Yep, double Fairy. Nicely done. Keeps him alive. Yet to be first blood, Cinder. I keep saying it. It's just shocking considering how active every team has been, it feels like, at this tournament. And Ace now is being left to his own devices to some degree. If he can get a little bit more XP, he'll get to level 4, but already has those 2 in reactive armor, so already a very tough kill.
He can't die in this lane. It's just not possible. I think what you're doing here as Nature's Prophet Pugna, you're trying to deny everything you can, get the wave back, and let Tomato farm. Duvo also See, this is what's tricky about this situation is that you kind of want to give Nature's Prophet levels, but I think if Dubu leaves, Timato's actually going to get bullied pre-6 by Timber. You can literally just run at him and attack him, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's just nothing you can do as Nature's Prophet here.
Celery showing off the tomato in the mid lane to try to pressure Bryle a little bit. I mean, in the mid lane, you can see 29 and 4.
Oh, they brought Tofu as well. Here's your first blood, Shannon.
First blood, will it happen? Ink Smoke does connect, and finally, whoa! Okay, so Bryle ends up getting the first blood onto Celery, and then dies shortly after, so a little bit of a turnaround that we were expecting. Oh, boom! Ends up dying mid-TP. That hurts big time. We'll have to walk back after the long respawn as well.
The first blood we all expected there. Enchantress dies before the Kunkka.
Yeah, that was... we saw a lot of damage applied to the Kunkka, and he just lived on 100 HP for so long.
That was a great rotation in there from TSM, bringing both the Pugna and the Phoenix. The Fire Spirits really delayed that kill, and they find the kill first, and then they get the bonus one onto Boom, that's the one that really stings there. Losing the Ench first blood is one thing, but Tiny dying after TPing puts him at a massive experience disadvantage here in the mid lane, and they don't get to do any power play with the siege creep. This is when Ench wants to get something done. So already one of the things that Gaimin Gladiators tend to play on quite a lot. So
there's the gank. Tomato at full HP after TPing back from that bot lane. That's going to lead to a kill for MoonMeander. And Tomato, I mean, he's not going to have a TP to go back to that bot lane, so maybe they just push this tower relatively early on. Of course, as we say that Ace left alone, which we've seen this time and time again. Level 5, I mean, once he hits level 6, you can't lane against him anyway. So...
this is a really good Timbersaw game. Like, it's concerning for a Timbersaw to have this good of a start in this good of a game. I just think from a draft perspective, TSM have no solutions to prevent this from happening.
Well, nice spear. Gonna avoid the initiation in its entirety. And we can see Tomato starting to farm up the triangle a little bit.
This is the siege creep that is alive, though, bottom. So they don't get their mid move, but Ace... he's a level 6 Timber with a siege creep, and he will keep that alive forever unless they rotate on him with 3 heroes.
Yep, aggro's the tower. Very, very tanky. Still looking for Dubu. He knows he was in the general area, and there's the ward. So that, you would assume, means TSM will attempt to defend this at some point.
I don't think they can. And even if they do, is it worth it? Let's say they rotate down 3 or 4 heroes here. They might not even kill Ace. And the tower would already have taken 80% of its health and damage. So
yeah, instead, TSM is going to smoke with Bryle and MoonMeander. And there's Darachi who gets X right before the leap goes off. A little bit of missed time, though.
Very, very good Boundless. That was a level 1 Boundless Strike.
Yep.
Combo breaking the X Torrent. That was very nice from Darachi. Getting out of trouble.
And that was almost certainly a kill. As now Tofu joining the party here. Boom. Gonna find Tomato. I mean, ever since they changed this avalanche to stun perpetually, Cinderin, like, no... I mean, what would you even call that? They are mini stuns technically, but they overlap completely, right?
It is actually just an AoE stun, right? It's an AoE stun that deals damage over time. Is effectively what it is.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, it's a bit crazy in some situations, I would say. I feel like it was a bit of Tiny's identity that it had that gap, right? That was what made that stun special.
Yeah, that is true. Bryle, boat's coming. It's going to connect. Do they have enough damage? Indeed they do. Took 3 of them.
Skewered deer. That's delicacy in some countries.
Yeah, I love reindeer.
You definitely do.
And elk. I don't know about Enchantress, though. That's half human. Sounds like cannibalism.
Just eat the right parts.
Okay. Dubu smokes up with Saberlight.
That's good advice in general.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
I can attest to that as well. I don't think we've seen an arena yet. Saberlight. Actually, they break the smoke in part just to get this stack off. And they do so successfully, but Saberlight's more important one to have the smoke applied. Ace, he's in the top lane now, and there we go. Tries the Timber Chain out, but the arena is in place. And they're going to combo it nicely with that stun ray, but Ace, oh, a nice rebuke to cancel the Timber Chain. I think he might have gotten out if that didn't connect. But good synergy there from TSM.
So correct me if I'm wrong, I think you can Timber Chain out of arena, but I think it depends on the angle or the timing. Like, there's a reason Ace tried that.
I couldn't tell. You're the Mars player.
Yeah,
tell me.
It's
the verticality of this is weird.
I feel like there are moments you could do this. Maybe it's because he's so close to the shields, so he needs to do it from further out, so he gets a bit more momentum. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, but the move speed is constant, right? So it also doesn't really make sense. I don't know.
Either way,
it's one of those things. Just Dota, you know.
That didn't get him killed. The rebuke was the beauty. But yeah, now that Ace has secured that bottom lane tier 1, he's just going to sit here and prevent any damage to come on the tier 1 top instead, as Tomato starting to farm away. Has Maelstrom coming in about 600 gold. And in terms of pacing, like what are each team's objectives here, Sinner? Like, is there a timing? Obviously, BKBs are a thing every game. So
yeah.
Maybe don't mention BKBs if you can. That's a little extra challenge for you.
Okay, I think Gaimin Gladiators should probably try to just farm up, get their BKBs, and then, oh, hang on mid, boom.
Yeah, there's the X. Dubu, nice avalanche, but that's not going to be enough. Gets thrust back into the torrent and boat. And Tomato TP's in to help push this tier 1 tower for TSM.
Very nice timing. They have the mid-siege creep, so wonderful. Okay, in all seriousness though, this is where it's at. It's the mid lane. You want to get this tower for either team. Enchantress would have liked to do this with the siege creep push and her creep. You can see she's starting on it now with the wonderful, ever so beloved Dark Troll Summoner here.
Oh yeah, backdooring action, nice.
Effectively attacking the tower with 2 siege creeps.
We have an arena at the same time though. They're gonna pin the Enchantress and down she goes, but the damage is still being done by the Troll Summoner.
Actually,
basically, it's equating to 4 of their heroes killing off that tier 1 mid, Sinner. That is quite the mighty neutral creep, I have to say.
That was...
It does live though.
That's a good attempt there from Celery, almost getting in and forcing that rotation, but the mid tower falls. It does get denied, however, because they had to rotate heroes down to defend their own. That deny will go to Tofu. And you would imagine this mid tower, it's still, you're just going to let Ench do it alone, I think. She's going to wait until she finds another good creep for it, and then she's going to take care of that. Don't need to waste any of the time of the other heroes. Just keep farming up, get to some key items.
So, out of curiosity, why not deny the tower mid? If you know that's going to happen, it's going to be really hard to defend anyway.
Braille, wait.
Now we're going to see Avalanche in the top river area with the Inkswell connecting, but there's the heals from Dubu, and Braille very, very healthy. You can see TP support from Tomato, Torrent, Sprout blocks off Tofu. Nice turnaround from TSM, and they're going to find some creeps in the enemy jungle. LeBron's going to clean these up nicely.
Yeah, don't see that every day, finding creeps in the jungle. That is quite surprising here. You could tell Ryle was shocked, that there were creeps there.
Depending on, I mean, it was one stack.
Oh, okay? A stack.
One of them was stacked.
You've got to be more specific then.
I mean, sometimes you're going to get there after the camps have been killed, and depending on, I mean, if it's like a Medusa or something, you never know.
That's true. I like that I made you explain that. Well, Celery's trying. They're going to decrypt the creep here.
Oh my.
To answer your question about denying this mid tower, I'm kind of with you. I think against Ench, like specifically Ench, you might as well do this, right? If it was any other hero, you might want to keep it up as like a bait. But Ench can do this with so little risk and for so little gain if the enemy kills her. It's not even really worth worrying about, I think, as a connection point. They do connect here on Saberlight with 3 of them.
Okay.
A true killer combo, Tiny plus Grimstroke. You add the burst of Timber in there and almost any hero will die 13 minutes in.
Indeed. Boom has the Blink Dagger on his Tiny. As Celery, they take some damage from MoonMeander. Do they have any stuns? Nobody else is nearby. Oh, the X just in time. Just in range for Bryle. Nicely done.
Oh, they're grilling that deer, huh?
It does take 4. Grilling a deer, barbecuing, however you like it. Saute, perhaps, Cinderin. Celery buying a lot of time, though. I mean, he's going to die eventually, but again, a decent amount of resources and time invested from TSM
they got him
to kill that deer. But you're making me really hungry. It's gracious.
That was quite the space. You feel good about dying there, as Ench.
Yeah.
I did more than what I set out to do with that move.
Indeed. You see all the stack camps here. Doraccio getting close to finishing his Battle Fury, which this game especially going to be extremely good, not only for ramping up the farm. Yeah, Tomato is dead. So boom, now that Blink Dagger is online, it's going to continue to just try to snipe out TSM members left and right. X marks onto Boom though. that tries to disrupt the combo, but it's not going to happen. So it ends up being a trade 1 for 2, essentially. Position 1, that is, for position 2.
It's still interesting to see how these things play out, right? The TSM are ahead 10-3, but it feels like they're under pressure somehow. Like Gaimin Gladiators are just running at them with this Eng. They're running at them with this 2-man gank squad with the smoke. And we'll find Eng again. Despite being down this many kills, the net worth is still looking very healthy because guess who is totally uninvolved? dota2 on Monkey King, complete free farm.
Yeah.
Whereas the enemy carry in Tomato on the Nature's Prophet has died once. He's been involved in some of the moves.
This is a nice juicy stack for dota2 as well. Just waiting to take that thanks to that Battle Fury. And yeah, he is going to be top net worth after this. As you can see the comparison between Tomato and dota2. Nature's Prophet, of course. Hey, talk to me about this position 1 Nature's Prophet disc game. What was the goal exactly? Because it's not exactly the most common pick.
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused as well. I don't know exactly why they value it this highly. I have to owe you an answer, honestly, because to me this isn't like a straightforward Nature's Prophet game. It might be something to do with overall pacing of what they're trying to do with their lineup with Pugna, as well as they just have really strong early team fight with Mars, Kunkka, as well as Pugna, so maybe they just want to play fast and put pressure and not let Gaimin Gladiators control the early flow. I think it's a team-specific prep because Gaimin Gladiators have won so many of their games early, right? So maybe they're like, we want to double down on having more involvement.
Oh, Celery. If he tanks this gank again, he is going to feel so good about this. But instead, it's dota2 they find. Spear into the trees. Boat incoming. He's going to have to left. That's not English. He is going to have to be left to die, Cinderin. Unfortunately, Celery just slightly out of range to tank the gank himself.
He do be very left there.
I would say it's early in the morning, but
it just really isn't, though.
I got 12 hours of sleep. It's just, maybe it's too much.
Oh, Celery. Seen this movie before.
Yeah. All right, so he tanks the gank eventually, Cinderin. It's just a little bit later than anticipated. So 2 dead. TSM, like you said, the score 13-3. If you just look at that alone, it looks like they're stomping, but net worth-wise, slightly to the advantage of a Gaimin Gladiators. And you can see why on the net worth on the left side. It's really the Timber and the Monkey King kind of separating from the pack.
Well, despite his 6 deaths on Eng, Celery still has a Glimmer Cape completed, so he's actually fairly tanky now. With Glimmer plus the Fluffy Hat, he'll be a lot harder for them to take down, and again, it might just be a waste of time almost, whereas in the meantime, Ace, I actually really like this from TSM that they've just left him alone. Like, I think the cost-benefit of trying to go for this guy just doesn't favor you right now. Like, you just got to do something else on the map and accept this will be a big Timber, and then try to solve him later. You're getting the Vessel on MoonMeander now, which is a big help in that kill.
Yep.
And he found Philosopher's Stone.
Oh, that's always nice.
So he's going to get very rich on the Firebird.
Should mention, Tomato turned his Maelstrom into a Gleipnir immediately. Typically, you see that kind of wait action, but I mean, it is against a Timbersaw, but he does have Yules to take off the roots, so it'll be interesting to see how that's used.
I have a question for you where I could use your expertise here.
Yes,
what do you think Phoenix tastes like?
Bird? Chicken, I
really?
guess. Yeah, just bird. Yeah.
Okay, very good.
The question is, they do come back to life, the Phoenixes, so if you consume it, does it come back to life inside of you? If so, that sounds very painful indeed. Gladiator.
Oh my god. It's like Alien.
Yeah, it turns into Alien. I'm surprised you've seen that movie.
I haven't, but I know the reference.
Oh, of course.
I don't watch movies, Shannon. Don't kid yourself.
I know. Alright, Brian.
Oh my god, that's like a terrifying thought. Imagine you eat chicken. And just suddenly there.
You can hear, okay,
whatever.
Saberlight finds the grip inside the arena. So Tofu, man, a lot of food references. Celery, tofu, birds, Bambi, good stuff. So still very even game in terms of net worth. Can you explain why?
It's raw CS on the side of Gaimin Gladiators. It's the Monkey King and Timber just finding so much farm because of the space. And a lot of the kills on Enchantress are relatively low value, right?
I mean, how many deaths does she have? She has...
So it's about half of the team's deaths are on Celery right now.
Yeah.
And I would say for the most part, maybe all of them but one are actually good. Like, it's not bad deaths. This guy is very good at the game, and he will, a lot of the times, put himself in positions where he will either get key information or waste so much of the enemy team's time that his other heroes are thriving for it.
And Bryle, all right. right, this will be a very value kill. dota2 actually gets off the pound. Oh my god, is he going to get out?
He is fine.
Unreal. Thought for sure he was going to die there, but...
What a gamer.
Indeed. Good, clean stuff for him. Make sure to follow him on Instagram. That was worth it right there. That beautiful tree dance. And in terms of the old Roshan watch, Cinderin, which team would you say has the advantage in taking that bad boy?
Probably Radiant. I think it's actually kind of close. Both teams are usually bad at killing Roche.
Yeah.
Like most of the lineups we've seen at this major have had at least one hero that does a good job at that. So it might be quite a while before we see that happening. Ace.
Saberlight.
Oh, look at that. There's a little tunnel.
Yeah.
It's the one spot he could spare him where he didn't get stunned.
That's actually quite unfortunate.
I don't think it would have mattered though.
Probably.
Ace is huge. He has Hood, Kaya Sanj, and the Yule.
And Essence Ring. Holy gee.
And Essence Ring.
Tanky. And that bracer in 5 minutes is going to double stats.
I mean, as much as you're making this sound like hyperbole, this is probably the best hero in the game with Essence Ring in terms of EHP, right? The health does so much for Timber because he converts it into way more EHP than others since he has so much armor.
Yeah, Accelerate.
Very good. Oh,
Yanks again. And he is going to die for the 7th time, but like you said, not really worth that much. But they might be able to get this tier 1 finally. It took them 21 minutes with a Nature's Prophet to start pushing this tier 1.
Yeah.
Don't see that every day.
That is very unusual indeed. It's just Gaimin Gladiators are pressuring so hard around the map, right? They parked Timbersaw top for 10 minutes almost.
Yeah.
And that's just meant that this tower was impossible for TSM to open up.
And they're still not really going to commit to this top tower. They have a lot of creeps and a siege, but we'll see if Gaimin Gladiators TP to try to defend.
As greater treants in play, it's going to fall really fast.
Yeah.
This is essentially Nature's Prophet's version of Dark Troll Summoner.
Well, Celery is going to defend.
Oh my god, the one he takes hits for 150.
Yeah, that's a lot. Okay, looks like the tower will eventually go down. We have a smoke now from TSM while this is happening. Okay, Spear does connect on dota2. Can he get out a second time? Negative. Tomato with the Gleipnir. BKB was picked up, I believe, right before he died, so doesn't lose much gold, if any. But still, very important kill for TSM. We're down in net worth despite being up 16-3.
I wonder if you pause the game right now and ask the teams what they thought the game state was.
I was going to ask you the same question. Do you think they know?
How good their read would be.
Yeah.
I feel like they would be pretty close. I think the feeling in Gaimin Gladiators camp is that because Ace is this farmed and they got the BKB Battle Pyramid at 22 on Monkey King as well, they probably feel like, okay, we're not far off. I'm sure they would have liked to have more kills in this early stage, but it's one of those things that's really interesting to think about, right? Like what their mentality is if they're like, okay, we're kind of far behind, we need to play in a specific way when it's not really the case.
Yeah. Tomato will take the Aegis, as you saw the BKB on the Monkey King 2.5 minutes earlier than average. So yeah, just showing how well he has farmed this game. And having said that,
he's also bypassed something, right? He didn't go Orb of Corrosion, which I think most carry monkeys do.
Oh yeah, you're right.
He only has the casual Orb of Venom.
All right, Avatos, but there's the X to bring him back. So it looks like dota2 will be going for the Aghanim Scepter next for that Monkey King. Timber saw the BKB coming next, and Boom has the Echo Saber and going for his BKB. So obviously we see this from competitive games across the board, trying to line up the BKBs together so that they have a huge power spike to try and create a lot of space between them and the enemies. As we have a smoke now.
Oh, Tomato, he has Aegis.
Yep,
he could die twice.
Avatos with the Ink Swell. That's the first life. TPs are coming. Saberline gets off the arena, but not as a spear this time. Balance Strike and the gold line onto 2. Looks like Tomato's going to get bursted down eventually, trying to run away. They get Saberline first. There's the heals from Dubu. Nicely done. But Tomato's just stuck inside his own sprout. Do they have the damage go through? Finally, the Chakram comes in. But Tomato looks like he'll live. Brian pops the BKB. Not enough to get the kill onto Tofu with that Nature's Prophet. Oh, dota2 stuck inside the sprout. Looks like he's going to have to try to just fight his way out of this. Not going to happen, though. 2 for 2, so they do end up losing Tomato in the end.
A bit of a mistake there from Tomato. He actually got in range of Monkey King while he was sprouted. So at the very least for Gaimin Gladiators there, they get that trade-off. That was such an insane defense from TSM. Ghost Ship, Pugnet Heal, and Sunray, all of them on the Nature's Prophet. He felt invincible. You're going to see a replay of it here. I thought this was going to be a pretty quick second kill, right? The arena is obviously also offering some really good coverage here, but look at Tomato. He's down to 25%. Cape's getting healed there. And Timbersaw actually has to Yule himself. He's dying to the Nether Ward and dealing way less damage because of it.
Yeah.
So all of that damage mitigation.
Literally TP'd in the middle of that, but he ends up dying anyway.
Yeah, so we're going to see him come back here now with a teleport, and that's next to Monkey King here with half health.
Yeah.
And Tomato actually just gets killed here by Dyrachyo. So
wow.
Bit of a slip up there, but still overall very good there for TSM considering how they got jumped on their Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, for sure.
And they get so much value out of this Nether Ward. This again, keep in mind this was last pick Pugna. Having that spell damage reduction against Timbersaw and Tiny and Grimstroke is no joke. It makes a huge difference for how tanky their heroes are.
Tower is under attack.
TSM no longer with the Aegis. Ryle has the AC BKB. And the rest of TSM trying to push this tier 2 tower top. As you can see, the BKB now online. If it was hard enough already to kill Ace, I think you just ignore him if you can. I mean, Timbersaw, one of those heroes that can absolutely decimate you if you ignore him as well. It just feels like
yeah, with the BKB he's invincible right now. Like he's mainly dying to Pugna in fights, I think. So now that BKB's up, no problem.
Ace still top networked in the game, has taken over the game. I mean, this is the reason that they're in the game to begin with. Highest amount of last hits at 25 minutes on any hero this major. Wow, 337.
Under attack.
Yeah, he gets a little bit of help from playing against Nature's Prophet, of course. Wonder if we can get a stat on that, how much of his CS is actually trans, but regardless, very impressive. Has been given a lot of freedom here.
We'll be going for Shiva's next, and be really interested to see what he does after that. I mean, you can turn the Arcane Boots into Lotus or something. Here we go. Okay, that does not...
7% other. I think those are trans, right?
Oh, other is Nature's Prophet. Okay, so not much.
Well, 7% of 300 CS, what's that? That's 21.
It's got 45... Okay, that's just for the team.
Okay, so I was wrong.
Oh,
well, I was not wrong about the math.
17, Cinder.
Oh, it was... Okay.
Man, production all over this. Beautiful.
Actually, only 17 trans killed, huh? That makes the CS thing all the more impressive, honestly.
For sure.
That's really good. So 340 regular creeps, minute 26.
And they have a 2K advantage on just the bounty room. That's actually insane for a team that is down 19-5.
Yeah.
How does that happen, actually? That's ridiculous. And you have a Nature's Prophet on the other side. Okay, Torrent. Gonna stop the channeling of Ace, who does not seem too happy about this. Timberchain will miss.
This is not gonna go well for TSM.
They are just aborting, I think.
Yeah.
But the rest of Gaimin Gladiators have come to play. Monkey King jumps and gets the BKB off with that Wukong's command. The leash onto 2 as well. But they're gonna run out of the Wukong's command together. Dubu looks like he's gonna fall eventually, but he's staying alive thanks to that Decrepify. Man, it's taking him so long to kill Dubu. He's just healing up through all of this as well.
Really?
Is he actually staying alive? Finally dies, but look what's been done. Ace extremely low on HP, needs help from the rest of his teammates. The Tomato's going to BKB, TP out. Celery in the meantime gets speared away. Limber catches to safety. Looks like he's actually going to survive for once in this game. MoonMeander gets off the dive. Now using those spears from afar as Boom gets off. He's trying to get away here, but you can see just ticking away thanks to MoonMeander living through this engagement. Ace getting healed by Celery. Can they actually get this kill? Essence Ring keeps them alive. But Saberlight goes in for the rebuke. Not enough damage to finish anything off. In fact, it's just going to be turned around. So a little bit too cocky from Saberlight.
Drops the my bad there. Got a little bit too into it, but my god, Dubu carried that fight so hard.
That was insane.
So he gets jumped by Monkey King Tiny in the backline, insta glimmers, survives the first burst, decreps and starts draining, gets to like 5% and then decreps and starts draining again. He was effectively, as this position 5 Pugna, he was kiting 2 cores for 20 seconds. You're going to see the replay here. So he glimmers there during the ghost ship. They now start going on him. Decrep runs in the corner, starts draining Monkey King.
Oh my.
And just as he gets low again, his Decrep comes on cooldown here.
Yeah.
So again, the ghost ship just playing a huge role. This took them forever. They needed that time.
Very awkward.
To connect with Ace and find the kills on the cores instead. But Dubu bought them so much time for his teammates to win that fight.
Well, Aghanim Scepter now officially online for Dyrachyo, so he'll get the little... What do they actually call them? The soldiers? I guess that's what they're called. They need a better name than that.
The Cabal.
Okay. That's not bad, actually.
What are they called?
It does not work on Roche anymore.
Yeah, you do call them soldiers.
Yeah, just soldiers. Saberlight, BKB, Mars Arena going for the supports. Looks like Tofu's dead, but a nice toss out to save Celery. BKB popped by Boom, so he has to be careful going back in. Ace, yeah, they're not going to go on him. So it ends up only being a support loss for Gaimin Gladiators. And we'll see what the item progressions for both respective teams end up being here. So Shadowblade is there for Bryle. I assume a Silver Edge to follow.
Yep,
and
it's queued up.
Nature's Prophet, also Shadowblade, interesting. Obviously at the BKB, and going Scotty next, it looks like.
Yeah, I wonder why Tomato has this. Does he also have silver? Okay, yeah, he does silver, that's why. Okay, that checks out. So, 2 heroes that can break the inch, and can also break Timber early in the fight, before he starts getting the reactive armor stacks. It's decent. Timber obviously has the BKB, so you gotta do it during stuns. And it also gives TSM some flexibility with how they move around the map and try to fight pickoffs, right? Their lineup does have some pretty good ganking potential. If Kunkka ever finds somebody with his Shadowblade, they can TP in the Nature's Prophet, vice versa perhaps.
Oh, Dyrachyo packs the pop his BKB, and will TP out to safety. No way to cancel. Oh, right, he has the Sprout talent! Wukong comes out! Okay, but Saberlight's actually dying within it. I thought they were going to turn that around, but Dyrachyo did it himself, and will he avoid Bryle? And it looks like he will. Unreal! I thought they had him with the Sprout talent. That's insane.
Tomato definitely reading the changelog there on that Sprout, but Saberlight did not read his power level in this situation. So nice Sprout there. 0.5 seconds left on the TP. Saberlight's like, oh, well, what can I do? Drops the ult. It's awkward being Mars here. You can't really get out.
Not only Wukong's command, but the Aghanim Scepter soldiers as well. That is a lot of damage for anybody standing in there. So really, they just they trade the Mars for a BKB on Monkey King is really what happened. But yeah, that 20 talent is absolutely absurd. I thought it was a bug, but it wasn't fixed, so I guess this is intended that it goes through BKB. I just find that very strange. But Nature's Prophet now has a way to cancel TPs, so of course also has the Gleipnir.
Yeah, so we were talking about this earlier. I think this is the only leash that pierces BKB together with Pluck Coil, right? When you're 25.
Just talents is we're going to see Boom. It's going to be Avatar, Brawl pops the BKB, Saber with a nice counter initiation, gets the arena off, and again, Tofu is his main target. They'll find him quite easily. Gleipnir allowing TSM to somewhat reset, but a balance strike from Dyrachyo connects onto Tomato.
Instant decrep.
Yeah, gonna jump. And they actually get this kill. He's gonna have to pop his BKB. Looks like he'll be fine, but in the meantime, so much damage to Ace. Pops that Essence Ring, looks like he's fine. Dyrachyo, Wukong's command, but nobody's standing inside of it. And Tomato getting healed thanks to MoonMeander's egg with that shard applied. Let's leave Gaimin Gladiators. I would assume try to reset here, although Tiny is one of those in and out heroes that wants to go back in with once that Avatar is online again. And now TSM, they want to fight. They have smoked up. There's the spear, connects on the Tiny. Saber with a nice reduce on several heroes. Dyrachyo gets off the boundless strike though. Avatar onto the decrep target, so Saberlight taking a ton of damage, and Ace finishes him off easily. They find another kill onto Dougal in the meantime, so numbers advantage for Gaimin Gladiators. Tomato, there's the leash with the Sprout. Attempting to get out, but his BKB is down. They're going to buy back, but it's not going to be enough to save Tomato. But look at the damage coming out from MoonMeander. Saving again. Tomato's still alive for now, but eventually goes down, but it's going to cost them the Monkey King and probably Ace as well. Gets X back into the torrent, so nice buybacks from TSM as they finally get the kill onto the Monkey King.
Yeah, Dougal is on fire this game. So clutch again. Sure, this time Tomato does die, but look at how much it forces. He gets the Decrepify on like 5% health again, so they cut down all the trees so the leash doesn't matter. They get over here. Dougal buys back.
Oh, the torrent is what bought them time for the
so torrent first, the Decrep heal. Yeah, you're right. It wasn't even Dougal right away. Actually, that torrent from Bryle was instrumental in that working out. So close.
All right, Arena. All right, Saberlight. All right, balance strike that he dodged thanks to that BKB, but the toss is there. Take out MoonMeander eventually. Bryle getting chased. Yeah, they had a good fight there recently, but they're going to lose the pug now. It's going to be essentially a dieback now as Bryle attempting to TP out. looks like he'll be successful, but Roche is up, and this should be a freebie for Gaimin Gladiators, despite not even having Timbersaw.
Yeah, that is just really bad news for them. It was looking good for TSM, and now overextended a little bit there, got counterplayed, gonna cost them the Roche Durasio level 25 now on Monkey King.
Oh my.
The highest level in the enemy team is Bryle, actually at 24. I'm surprised he's that high level, given the circumstances, but yeah, that's a big talent. Obviously, you get that big ring as Monkey King.
Shard, I would assume, goes to Tofu. We'll see.
That sounds very good.
We were just talking about Durachi, or not Durachi, but Monkey King Shard being kind of cool.
It goes to Grim.
Yeah, but Grim's is possibly top 5 Shard in the entire game without even thinking about it, Synderin.
Yeah, it gives a lot of luxury to the Monkey King. You can just precast the Inkswell on him and he can go in and delay his own BKB usage. Or obviously if you do get caught, you get that pseudo save together with the Glimmer Cape that you have on your Enchantress to reset the fight. And your Force Staff, of course, and Grimstroke too. So they do have all the key pieces in order to kite out. Top lane Saberlight.
Straight into him with the BKB again. Boom gets the Avatar trying to kill off Saberlight. They'll do so despite being the BKB target. And now the egg comes out. The boat will connect. The egg ends up getting destroyed eventually. Now Bryle left alone. Pops that BKB. TP's out. We'll be fine. In the meantime, running around the circles is Ace. A lot of BKB TPs today, I feel like.
Ace now,
especially in the
25.
previous series.
So huge chasing potential now on him. He's got the Timber Chain talent.
Radiant's middle tower
arguably the most mobile hero in the game aside from Nature's Prophet 25. There's no cooldown teleport. His arm isn't very mobile. Or Ember with Ags, if you will. So yeah, maybe he can get 3rd place or 4th.
Why don't you just say top 10 and then you'll be right most of the time.
That's a good point.
Top 25 probably.
Yes.
All right, nice attempt from Boom to get a toss off. He does so successfully. And looks like Pugna's going to drop. And look at no buybacks for TSM, and you have a Tiny on the opposing side. So this is going to be a lot of building damage. They can get 2 sets of... Actually, no, the tier 2 is still up in the bot and top lane, but 2 siege units are here in the bottom lane. So we'll see if he can tank it up. And yeah, they're going to turn this into a potential second rack. So you can see MoonMeander giving his team a little bit of a speech.
Radiant's bottom tower
Never ever.
Never ever.
Gonna lose this game. Well, it seems likely that it's going to happen soon, but...
Boom. Gets off the avalanche top. No speech is going to save you from this. He goes down to the impetus. No buyback still available. Aegis still online for Duraccio. So 2 sets of racks at minimum.
Yeah. Boom rocking the Titan Sliver. We didn't really talk about that, but obviously S tier neutral item on Tiny. You get 20% base attack damage. His current base damage is 350. So that's an extra 70 damage you just get for no...
350? Yeah,
at no cost.
I would
70
Titan,
damage.
Titan Sliver is probably a top 5 neutral item on Tiny. No doubt.
Yeah, probably. I think you're right there. Top 25.
If you include the tier 5 items, that is.
Yeah, probably. That is very, very good on that hero. 2 lanes.
Indeed. So Gaimin Gladiators, despite being down in the kill department for the entire game, are now up 12k, showing great resilience. And we'll see if they're able to use this Aegis. Another 2 minutes to go, so a lot of time. And they're going to Shadow Blade into the enemy base. Just looking for a quick pickoff. Not going to find it, though. And the slow push in the top lane continues to try to get that tier 2 tower. Tomato, you can see in the enemy jungle. He will find creeps there because that is a jungle. We've established that already. I would assume he's just going to go cut some creeps, but maybe not choosing to do that yet. Wind Waker, who had that? That's a Timber? Oh my goodness. That is a great save for your allies.
Yeah, can get out of Arena with this.
Indeed.
And out of Sprout Leash, I would imagine.
Who knows?
I'm sure.
All right, this will be a very big kill. Of course, he still has the Aegis, so expect Gaimin Gladiators to try to initiate after this arena goes away. He can be popped by Duraccio trying to reset, but he's getting bursted down. Look at all this damage coming out. Double kill for Tomato, and Gaimin Gladiators on the run. So successful defense. Soulbind is there to slow them down a bit. They lose one more. Looks like Ace will live, though.
Awesome supernova there from MoonMeander. I think a lot of players would not have thought about doing that exactly there. It's Very smart foresight. Obviously, when Monkey respawns there, he's going to have to BKB and pop the ult. And MoonMeander timed the supernova, so the stun that pierces BKB went off during the animation. So he doesn't get the ult off. You're going to see the replay here, so really nicely done there from Moon. See him start channeling it now. Yeah. And as Monkey comes up now, pops BKB and starts using the ult, he will take that supernova stun here. So if he gets the animation, there's the stun. That's nice. Takes him out. Very wonderful.
MoonMeander, boom. We saw him blow up the Pugna. Now he's getting chased. And the egg again. MoonMeander. That's a gem dropping egg as well. With a couple bounty rooms to boot. Do they see the gem? Looks like they will now. A little bit of net worth going the way of TSM as a result.
Oh, Ace. Luck catching Ace, though.
Yeah, Timber Chain globally. Looks like he should be fine.
Might as well be.
But TSM, I mean, there's no buybacks on Gaimin Gladiators, Cinder, and I feel like TSM could take some buildings right now.
This was a pretty major blunder from dota2fullmatch jumping into those trees and getting punished that hard. If they had played this as a normal siege, he just runs up to the tower, starts hitting it. They would have been just fine, but got a little bit too funky there. And now, honestly, their entire lead is gone. This is anyone's game again. Yeah. They were in a dominant position.
So that's going to be mid-racks. They can go for top as well, seeing that there's no buybacks. And Saber, like, it's a nice arena onto the both remaining members of Gaimin Gladiators. Tofu's dead again. You can see the buyback comes out, though. But with that buyback, this should indicate to TSM that nobody else has it. So I assume this will be 2 sets of racks. Ace, not sure if you want to commit to this fully, as we have 2 Wraith packs fighting against each other. The battle of the skulls.
Oh, it's coming over.
Oh my god, do they attack each other?
Give it a hug.
Question. Look at each other. Look at him. Oh. I just wanted to see them stare into each other's soulless eyes. But we won't see it this time. TSM instead even up the game. 2 sets of racks for them in trade for their own racks, Cinderin. What a turnaround. And
one moment was all it took for TSM to get everything back in the game.
Whatever MoonMeander said, it worked. It's like, wait for them to screw up, because we're going to take advantage. And they did.
The current win probability graph looks like something you would only be able to make in Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, because this is not, I don't think you can get enough velocity in a real roller coaster to go up that high.
Why did they not have roller coasters in Roller Coasters Tycoon 1?
No, it was because that was the one I grew up with and played.
Oh, okay. A little false advertising there.
Very great game, by the way.
Okay, thanks for advertising that at a Dota 2 major.
It's probably in the Steam store. I'll get a pass. All right. I actually think it isn't, now you say it.
Easy money.
Get on it, Valve. That's 3 killing for TSM. Tomato 25 now, so he takes the Treant HP and damage, not the teleport cooldown, so really looking to make this split push extremely powerful on the Treants.
And you have Leveler now. Not sure if he's going to actually equip. I assume he would. He will be hitting a lot of buildings. Has the full Satanic now. Man, he is a filthy Nature's Prophet right now, Cinder, and this is a lot of farm. He is top net worth by a good margin now, overtaking Ace's Timbersaw. And dota2fullmatch, I mean, with these couple deaths, he's kind of dropped off a bit. I mean, even Ryle's Kunkka is more farm now than him.
Yep. Dying late game will do that. It's actually a very tense moment. This next Roche is likely game deciding. Gaimin Gladiators are aware of this, but they're still going to offer up dota2fullmatch split pushing bottom because they have to take care of some lane against this Nature's Prophet 25 with the talent, or every wave is just going to be pushing in. So dota2fullmatch will push out bottom, TP back in smoke. They'll offer up, well, not really. Ace is just going to push this out. This is not really meant as a bait, I think, because they're not expecting TSM to go on him. But we'll give them a little bit of information. Oh, okay.
Ace runs right into them. He's going to get broken immediately. Hex as well. There comes the arena. Moon trying to take somebody out, but it looks like the egg will finally be placed inside the arena, so the rest of Gaimin Gladiators have to retreat. But again, MoonMeander has Refresher, so he can do it yet again if he wants. Ryle, stuck inside Sprout. The avalanche is there, but he's going to get healed up from Dubu, so more than fine. Looks like Gaimin Gladiators want to reset a bit. Or I say that Boom resets by going in with the Avatar for Alpha for EKB. He's going to live. Looks like they find Ace, who's all alone in the front. Finds back into the game, though. Avalanche on the 3 heroes. Trying to focus onto Boom, but the Ace will heal him up to a high degree. The egg goes off for MoonMeander. Number 2 for him. He gets the Sunray off as well as 4 buybacks for Gaimin Gladiators. And they are absolutely crumbling. And there, Ace again stuck inside the Sprout. He gets off the Yules, though. Getting some good space. The Rebuke is not enough to finish him off. He's ticking away ever so slightly. He goes down to the store. I can't even believe the Spear Vessel killed him all on his own. are actually doing this. They're going to get full team wipe, it looks like. Celery will be the 4th to fall. This is like the 9th kill in this fight for TSM. The only remaining member will be the Tiny. Boom is coming in. He cannot defend by himself, though, Cinderin. This is looking like the end of game 1. GGs are called. What a comeback from TSM. Off a couple of mistakes from Gaimin Gladiators, but a lot of teams, I don't think, come back in that situation.
No, they were so... Like, it's kind of crazy how Gaimin Gladiators could have 2 lanes of barracks and an Aegis